Hi, welcome to NGEN Markets. Today we'll talk about the fund section where you can screen funds. So let's head over to the fund section and the screen tab right here. So this particular section lets you screen across the entire universe of mutual funds in India. Here on the top section you have some filters that you can use to just get a different set of results out. And we have a lot of columns that you can see here. It's quite a bit all the way going down to the right, so including everything from holdings, ratios for risk and return statistics, years, individual calendar years, along with return statistics and some rolling analysis, etc. Because there are so many columns, just to help you manage through this section, we've actually given you a set of pre-set column views which you can use. So for example, here you can just look at some basic columns, or which will give you just a few handful of columns here. Or you can look at risk columns, which will look at concentration, Sharpe ratio, value at risk. If you want to learn more about value at risk, please look at one of the other videos we have on here, especially on fund and portfolio analytics. Also, we have Sortino ratio, standard deviation, and some other stats as well. And then we have equity and debt columns, which focus on those specific asset classes, or if you just want to look at return data. If you want to further customize this view, you can actually use this settings box here, and you can actually put on or off any of these columns here as you feel. And once you've selected a view that you like, you can enter a name here, like this, and just save it. And what it does is it saves you a new view here for test. And whenever you click on it, it will actually load just those columns for you. So now let's look at how to use this section. So here on the top, ideally you would select one or more sub-categories. So let's take a simple example that we're looking through large and mid-cap funds. So I select both of them. You can select multiple categories here. Once I do that and I close this box, as soon as I close this box, you will see the results start to appear. So now you can see all the data coming in for large and mid-cap. Both categories are showing in one place. And of course, the columns, let's look at equity columns. So that would make sense. Now here, you can see everything from NAV, AUM, TER, P, PB, large cap, mid cap allocation, concentration data in terms of how much of the portfolio the top 3 positions have taken, or top 5, top 10, etc. And then as you scroll right, you'll see a lot of return columns and risk stats as well. The idea behind this section is that you can sort very easily. So for example, if you wanted to find the best fund across large and mid cap, which has best fund in terms of, let's say, Sharpe ratio. So you would basically find the Sharpe ratio column and just click it, and it will sort them best to worst. If you click it again, if you want to see the other way around, you can do that as well. So here you can immediately find which fund, in this case it happens to be principal large cap, and move on from your analysis from there. So you can sort on the basis of any of these columns here. The second thing you can do on the top is filter these by AUM. So for example, you might not want to consider any funds that have less than 500 crores in AUM. So you just enter 500 there and apply, and your results will get smaller. The result set will get smaller. So you won't get any fund here which has an AUM below 500 crores. You can also just look at regular or direct funds. So if you're an advisor instead of a distributor, you might look at a view which gives you only direct funds instead of regular. And secondly, on top, you can again sort from here instead of clicking the top if you like. Also, depending on how much data you want to look at, you can also select how many rows you want in the result. Remember, every time this refreshes, it goes to the entire universe. So there is no sorting happening within these results. It's actually sorting the entire universe based on the filters that you have on top. And you can also filter them by AMC. So if you have a set of AMCs, let's say, that you don't want to use, what you can do is just select all, and let's say take off a few of them that you definitely do not want to use. And in that way, you'll actually get a result set that makes sense to you. Finally, what you can do is you can download this data in Excel, If you like, you can take a screenshot of whatever is showing on the screen right now, and you can also add these funds, any one of them, based on your search and your sort. So for example, we've sorted by standard deviation here, so we might want to add the top 5 standard deviation funds to a condensed list which we want to analyze further and deeper in detail. So as you can see, like a shopping list, I'm adding them to my compare list, and they go over to the next tab, which is the compare list, and you can see all of them here. We will go through the functionality in this section in a separate video, but that concludes the video for the screener section. Thank you for watching.